Hello, Pridelands. How are we doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Today we're doing book club. Okay, everybody goes quiet.
I said woo.
I didn't even hear it come through your thing.
Cool.
It didn't.
Discord might just be fucking today.
It does that. Little warning here. Some of what we will be talking about is definitely 18 plus, if not more on the almost XXX.
Almost.
Because we're adults here.
We
We read things like that.
Oh yeah.
At
We
least
will-
age-wise, we're adults.
True.
Fair. If we're going by mentality, nah.
So, little start here. So for New Year's resolution, I had decided, hey, I want to get back into reading, and I've been doing audiobooks and stuff, just because I hadn't done that in a while. And all of us, I guess, decided to do it at the same time.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things where when you mentioned it, I thought, you know what? Yeah, let's fucking go. Because I've been wanting to do more reading as well, so this is just like a perfect opportunity to do that.
And so far, for me, I have finished 13 this year so far.
I'm up to 14, I think.
I think that's what we said last.
I'm trying to remember if I've read a book since then.
Oh, I mean,
I don't think I
you said
have.
that
I took
before
this week
Aragon,
off.
didn't you? So technically, I guess you'd be at 15.
I think Aragon was
Um,
15.
You have a lot of small ones that you've done, so you're probably much higher on the books.
Well, it depends if you're counting the bundles as one
The
or
Audible
as
only
separate.
counts the bundles as a single book. It doesn't count them as separate. So
Well, if it's the same story, then it's one, but if it's separate stories, then that's multiple.
Because
At
I
least
have
that's what I'm
one
doing,
that
right?
is 13 different stories, all
Jesus.
intertied in a way. I have one that is 4, one that is 3, one that is 6.
he has a lot more
Okay,
time to
mommy.
read because being in the postal service, he's in the car almost all the time.
Yeah.
This is fine. I have a decent amount of time to read. I just have to pause when I'm taking calls at work, which is okay.
I don't always have the want to have a book going. Plus, if I'm
No, that's
stop and go
fair.
a ton with all my deliveries, like that's not worth doing.
That is also valid.
What are you? No bullying. Stop it. Stop it.
Don't bully me.
So we just decided for this first one, we're not doing any kind of specific books together. It's just we're going to talk about what we've been reading. And as I said, some of it probably, at least for those, the other two, contain graphic portions to
themes.
it. Yeah. Me, I don't really read a ton of stuff like that. And actually, my book series that I've mostly finished, they don't have the last one in audiobook yet. I'm sad about that. Is, I guess, more teen oriented.
Yeah, I would consider Alex Rider more of a young adult type.
So who wants to start?
I mean, you or Kiva could go because it's your channel, but he's a first time guest speaker.
Well, I mean, it's that, or if you were to go Bella, you and I both have opinions for whom the bell tolls.
That's true. So let's let Trix go first, because did you finish the book before we?
Yeah, I've already listened
Okay.
to it again.
Yeah, I already
Okay.
reread it.
Just making sure. Okay, cool.
So the set
So, yeah,
that
let's-
I had been reading from the start of the year was actually an old book collection that I had gotten from my grandfather a little bit before he had passed away. At the time, they didn't have as many books out, but it's the Alex Rider series. Basically, teenage James Bond, and I really enjoy it. it's science fiction-y, but with some realistic aspects to it. Like it does have some truth in what they say with like MI6 being a thing and stuff like that. But the story follows at the time of the start a 14-year-old boy named Alex Rider, whose uncle he originally thought was just an international banker. Turns out he was a spy for MI6 and had been secretly training him to follow along all through his life because he'd done things like skiing, learned multiple languages, karate, stuff like that. From a very young age, his father and mother had unfortunately died what he believes was a plane accident, which I'm not going to go as to what actually happened, but it wasn't. And then after his uncle dies, it's very early in the very first book, so not really spoiler stuff there. He is, I want to say recruited, but almost kind of forced into his first mission with MI6, and then just kind of continues from there through all the books. Because technically, at 14 years old, he's not supposed to be working for him. You know, a bit young.
I mean, yeah.
Apparently,
a little bit.
apparently in universe, though, at 16, he would have been eligible to actually start working for MI6. At 16.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Still seems really young.
It does. But throughout it we have the classic James Bond stuff of like a big supervillain that he has to eventually go through and inadvertently kill, because he doesn't until much later in the series hasn't actually killed anybody. It's all like freak accidents that makes the villain die, which he somewhat causes himself.
Death by their own hubris kind of things.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But they also have in there the Gadget Man, which most James Bond people know as Q. Inside Alex Rider, his name is Smithers, and I love him.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I love the name Smithers.
But they always make a comment in there because, you know, always making gadgets for adults is easy, but it becomes complicated when you have to try and make gadgets for what a teenager would just be regularly carrying around, like sticks of gum or video game systems, music, things like that. And it's really it's nice to see what they come up with. The very first book, one of the gadgets, and I loved rereading this, was an old Game Boy. And there were 4 games that came with it. Each one had different things they could do. One became a little X-ray machine using the Game Boy. One was for communicating. You had one that could turn into a smoke bomb. Yeah.
I mean,
One of the
yeah,
cartridges that
superhero
was a
stuff.
game was a smoke bomb.
Love that so.
Yeah. But throughout it, you see Alex basically losing a lot of his childish innocence, and later on in the series, there's a lot of more tragic stuff that happens that really it might break you once you get attached to some people. Overall, for it though, I highly recommend, if you really like spy stuff or science fiction, things like that, and you don't mind a little bit more on the childish side, definitely give it a read. Out of a 10, I'd give the whole series probably a solid 7.5 to an 8.
Nice. It does. I imagine it does help that you have the bit of nostalgia with it, coming
Yeah.
from something that your grandfather introduced you to, but
Mhm.
it also does sound like it would be a good read for someone who perhaps doesn't want to have an adult book or an overly violent book or something like that.
And going off the audiobooks for all of these, the longest one was only a little bit over 10 hours. So they're not super long books.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No, like the first one was only like maybe 6 hours. Now, granted, if you're a slow reader and doing it with paper, it might take you longer, but
Yeah, but this is fine.
Hmm.
Depending on how many distractions you have.
That
Also that.
that thing. Also finished reading, but this you guys have already known from the last video we did, was Aragon. And we're going to continue reading through the rest of that series, and we'll have a recording for that later on, so that's not going to be covered in this.
Yeah, we'll be transitioning from, obviously we won't be able to do a movie for Eldest because there isn't one, but we'll be
Thankfully, they
doing
didn't
both
continue
movies
it,
for-
honestly. I'm glad
They
didn't.
wouldn't have been able to. They cut out half of the people, but we covered that in the previous video.
Yeah,
Like
We
all the
won't need
dwarves?
that. Oh, except for Hrothgar, apparently.
which didn't look like a dwarf.
Nope.
But I don't have a lot to talk about because the only ones that I have gone through was all the Alex Rider. 12 books.
This is
But-
fine.
But the other two have a lot more that they've gone through. Like different variety, I would say, this year so far.
Different variety, yeah, but I'm just gonna focus on one book. One book at a time so I don't get myself confused.
This is fine. And if you want to talk about other ones afterwards, you are welcome to.
Alrighty.
Kiba, you want to do
the-
next?
Yep.
Okay.
So, for everyone, my name is Kibara Icebolt. I do run my own Twitch and have started my own recordings on my own YouTube as well.
Which we need to help
mostly
you get
doing
uploaded.
games. Yes.
Woo.
But the series today that I'm going to be talking about, the first book of it is called The Wolf of Withervale by Joaquin Baldwin. It's a fantasy. It's a fantasy type story and stuff, swords, crossbows, things like that. But it's set different. It has magic in it, but it's not described as the way you would think typical magic would be, like spells and things like that. Because in there, the magic is seen as threads, like connecting everything, especially seen through the mass that the people in there end up acquiring throughout the books. Right now, there is a total of 8 books. 4 of them are complete. The 5th one should be coming out sometime this year or next year.
Ooh.
There's one that
But-
I had found through some people on Blue Sky. I was like, ooh, let's recommend this.
I actually really enjoyed it. But granted, I'm also one that I'm for fantasy. And like I said, I'm generally for magic. I love spell work, wizardry, stuff like that. And this one, with their concept, was actually very, very interesting.
Sorry, cutting you off for just a second, but on the topic of witchcraft and wizardry stuff, we will not be talking about a very specific series because we don't want to give any kind of leeway or mention of people. Because we do not agree with what they have done.
Yeah, we may have been fans in the past, but we no longer support the author or their and obviously we don't support their beliefs.
And of course, there's other authors and stuff that some people might like. We're not going to talk about them because of the controversies behind them. If you guys want to talk about them in the comments below, we can make our comments to it, but it's not going to be something that we'll do live.
See?
Okay, now you can continue. I just want to make sure that was out there.
Cheeky little disclaimer.
So the story starts around a young boy who in his way early and stuff has not found his identity. The entire story does involve a lot with the LGBT community. It's a big part that this author focuses on, and a lot of his other books that I've seen as well. But at the very beginning, the young boy has not figured out his identity yet. He does know he likes men, but it starts out kind of sounding mediocre, being made fun of typically and stuff for the nail polish. kind of acting girly, not being seen, and of course, the one parent that doesn't agree with it.
Mm,
But yeah, unfortunately, his dad's a real jerk.
there's always one.
But
A lot of
Not
people can
always.
actually
Yep.
relate to those.
Yeah.
but it was starts out. He has he's in an area where he and a friend of his have a little hidden spot. They call it their little den or diamond cave, as they call it. And he is he meets a older woman and stuff. Originally in the form of a fox, sees an injured fox. Until he goes over there to see what's going on, and the woman reverts back to a human form with a canine shaped black mask. She asks him to take it as she is dying from injuries and give it to her grandson. So that ends up leading to an entire quest that takes several years later on. But the whole point with this mask is the start of everything related to the magic of their world. It's described as canine, but looks like obsidian or metal, but it's lighter than feathers. It's just the property of how it was made and stuff in the mystical way that the ancient civilizations in this book learned how to make them. And in total, later on he finds out there are a total of 18 of these masks, all for giant different groupings. Like you have your Canid and Vulpine are all under one, your Felid, your Chiropteran, which are bats. You have your
Bees.
yes, you have the ones for the elephants, the ones for the seals, the ones for cetaceans, whales, dolphins.
There's a lot
You
there.
have, yeah, there is a huge. They have the ursids for the bears.
Oh wow.
You have your deer.
He's showing off all of his
You
animal
have your
knowledge here.
bulls. Shut up. I'm gonna kick your ass later. But the
No
whole, but
violence.
the big, no promises. But a big point and stuff that it shows what originally without these masks were designed were allow you to see what's called threads of the world. And these threads you can use to manipulate people, manipulate objects, see long distances, see around you in complete utter darkness.
Yay, dark vision.
Almost essentially, yeah.
My character has dark vision.
But the thing is, when a person first puts on the mask, they are met with the world's pain.
Ooh.
You have to overcome it. And then you can start freely using the mask to do all sorts of stuff and eventually transforming it into an anthropomorphic version of something from that species. And stuff. So like the boy ends up becoming the wearer of the mask as the series progresses for the Canids. He ends up finding what's known as his form, or your other half of you, which is some sort from whatever grouping that mask belongs to. He found his other half in a Timberwolf. And
Ego
it's
Awu.
yes. But it is an entire long thing. I mean, this where I'm at and stuff, they have now acquired 7 masks against where the enemy has acquired almost the same amount and stuff. And the enemy actually start using these masks as well. But they enslave the animals that belong to the species grouping of that mask to use as an army sacrifices and stuff like that. It's kind of
a
cruel.
bastard.
Yes. Like the main one, he goes by the red stag. He found his in the form of a stag, and he wears the mask of deer.
Cervids.
Yep. And he found that he has to keep himself in full control by continuously wearing the mask. You take off the mask, you lose what's called a mind lock, total control over these creatures.
It's a hive mind.
Oh.
Essentially, with all of the animals literally aware of what's going on around them, but not able to move or do anything without being commanded what to do.
Ouch. Hangnail.
So it's fully a mind lock. You're stuck in your own mind, almost kind of like how you hear some descriptions of people who are in comas, where they're kind of awake but unable to do anything or respond. Same thing. Yes, I'm showing off my medical knowledge. I don't want to hear anything about that either.
Hey,
You're
you said it, not
fine.
me. As long as you know you're a nerd.
How dare you be intelligent?
Now, just a little thing. This series is still ongoing. The books are not done yet for it.
Yeah, I did say that.
I know. Just reiterating.
The fourth one just released in February of this year.
So
And you
it's
said the fifth
it's
one
very
is coming out
relatively new.
later this year or next year?
Later this year, or possibly early next year. The author's in works with it right now, which he actually has a website you can go look to with his name, or just simply type into the browser Nos Saga. It pulls up. He has artwork. He has character designs. He has full commission designs for the covers of the books. And he gives full descriptions, character names, some lore background for the series, which is all really cool to look at.
I'll have to check that one out. That was the one y'all showed me, right?
That was one of the
Yes.
ones we sent you a while ago. The
Okay.
one that we sent you recently, I still plan on getting some stuff for, but and we'll talk
I need to
about
start writing
after
down.
all of this what book series we're looking forward to reading next.
I need to start writing these down.
I can send you the link for them.
Yay.
But yeah, it's looking through it. You have
You good there?
I was looking at the covers that thing.
Yeah,
you gave
I wanted
me and stuff
milkshakes.
for the DoorDash.
Yeah. I was about
Alright,
to
here
say,
you go.
be quiet.
But anyways, back to what I was saying with the mask and stuff. You learn the pain, and eventually, when you learn to control it, you can take on a half form. And they also end up learning you can take on a full animal form known as a feral form.
And from what
But
he told me,
if
they
you
like to
don't
experiment with that.
They experiment with the anther. They haven't gone full feral.
I thought you said they were looking at it.
It's very risky because in the full feral form, if you don't have people to help keep your mind on track, to remind
You might
yourself
lose
that
yourself.
hey, you're human. Yeah, you lose yourself literally becoming the animal, because one of the wearers of the mask thousands of years ago, he actually lost control when he became the bear and stuff. He was the wearer of the bear mask. And he lived for 14 years until his own tribe and his own daughter killed him to release him from the mask.
Damn.
It's a
Yeah,
dangerous thing.
He was living full wild up in the Arctic North because he found his form as a giant polar bear. But the mass, everything that they start researching and learning about the mass revolve around a group of ancient people called the Miscum, separated into 18 tribes. Each one holds a mask, and they have these giant plant domes and stuff that were grown thousands of years ago, and inside is one of these tribes in each dome and stuff. They're waiting for the word from the planet Nos, which the name for the series, to let them know when it's time to open the dome, reintroduce species that have perished and stuff from a giant calamity that happened, almost destroying the whole world. And that, but where it all starts, and he got a hold of the canine mask, is because the dome near where he grew up, Withervale, was infiltrated by people and attacked, and the bearer of the mask and her grandson were the only ones of that tribe left who managed to escape. So then as they go on later on and stuff, they actually start going to the other domes to get them to open up, help Nos, the new version of Nos they learn, find out who, recover his lost memories that are trapped inside these domes, but also to help rescue and warn them against the evil of the Red Stag.
That almost makes me think of Kingdom Hearts 2.
I can see a little bit.
Worlds. Yeah.
In a way,
not saying
because they're
The 7 lights and the 13 darknesses.
They're traveling across the sea right now, where it left off in the 4th book.
Cliffhangers.
Woo!
Yes, big time, and it annoys the hell out of me.
You gotta wait.
I was about to say, that's what you get for reading an ongoing book series.
I mean, technically, the one I was reading is still ongoing, I guess, because there's a 13th book out that doesn't exist in an audiobook. I could find the physical, but I don't really have a ton of time to read a physical book.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to go and get all of them as a collection, because at my parents' place, I have up to book 8 or 9, and we're now up to 13, so I wouldn't mind getting the others to complete the collection.
Whereas me, with the Aragon series, I need the 4th book, and I need Murtagh, and then I have all of them on hardback.
I have the main Inheritance series all in hardback. I need to get Murtagh still.
And
Which Belle is actually
novella.
holding our copy of Murtagh.
And the what?
I said, and the novella.
I don't know about the novella. I mean, it's probably not a bad thing to have, but I don't care if I really get that one in physical copy. I can just read that one through the audiobook.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're freaking out on. There's a stink bug up there.
Get the bug.
Little man's hunting with his one eye.
Aw.
But yeah, with these Miscum tribes and the domes, each one has what they call companion animals. So one of the companion animals with the canine dome were giant dire wolves. I mean,
Ooh.
and you think of dire wolves, they're already big animals to begin with. These ones are the size of buildings, with bones stronger than any known steel. I mean, later on, towards the end of the 1st book, the boy has a wolf fang, one of the dire wolf fangs, turned into a blade by the spirit of the bear animals, or the bear clan, or glade, whatever you want to call it, and stuff, who happens to also be one of his lovers. But
for him.
he turns around and turns this direwolf fang that he collected from inside the canine dome and turns it into a blade. and the blade is stronger than any steel that they come across when he has to fight.
Now I'm getting Inuyasha vibes. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not saying that's where they got inspiration for some of the stuff in the story, but I'm loving it.
I mean, he might have. The guy's in it. The guy's in his mid-20s and stuff. The author, so he might literally have gotten inspiration like that from the fangs that created Inuyasha sword. So
Just a baby.
I'm just a baby.
but it's like it goes into the second book and stuff. They find the Felid mask, and in their companion animals are Smilodons,
The who?
Felidae.
saber-toothed
Cats.
tigers.
Ah,
The cat folk.
Saber-toothed
Woo!
cats, and he meets the wearer of that mask, a boy about his age, whose animal form is a caracal.
don't know that one either.
Um,
I have to learn what a lot of these animals are when I read this series.
Caracals are like a savanna cat.
Ah, okay.
bigger than a savanna cat. They're about the size of a small medium dog. Large big tufts on their ears, short little tail.
Some people keep them as
So like a
pets.
bobcat, but bigger.
A bobcat, but
Not as
more.
thick fur.
Yeah,
Not as thick fur, and not the cheek fluff.
they're more of a heat-based versus bobcats being more of a cold-based.
Yeah, they're
Ah.
desert. And caracals are also well known for they don't meow, they hiss. They greet at you, they hiss. They're angry at you, they hiss.
Certain people in the furry world call them floppas. Floppa.
Do they flop a lot?
I
They
don't know
like
where
to
the name
hit.
came from, honestly. But they do like
They
to smack
do like
things.
to slap.
Smack, smack.
I just want to say on my end, the Alex Rider series I didn't go a ton into because we actually planned, Bella and I, to do a recording for a movie versus a book because Stormbreaker, the first book of Alex Rider, was given a movie. And since Bella hasn't read it, she's going to watch as a person who's never read and see opinions on it. I'm going to go with having read the book before seeing the movie. Because I had already seen the movie before, but it was on TV. And, so, and we're going to do a compare and contrast on our thoughts that way. So that's going to be a later video as well.
See, I've seen Stormbreaker on DVD.
You had it on DVD.
Came out years ago, honey.
I'm well aware. I saw it on
we
TV.
rented it.
Oh, you rented it.
My dad, I listened to most of the Alex Rider series myself, thanks to my dad and stuff always doing audiobooks. My dad didn't like to read, so he always went audiobook route.
It's fine. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah, because that's how he got me on the Clive Cussler series.
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
I haven't.
A lot of theirs involves their group of, or their organization group with Noah, but they go and they hunt down all these relics, old ships, hidden treasures, things like that.
Indiana Jones.
If you've ever heard of the movie Savannah, that is actually based off of one of the Clive
Nope.
Cussler books.
That's not surprising that I haven't heard of it though.
Not-
So
Not Savannah, Sahara.
No, still haven't.
It's about a really famous lost ship lost to history and the times when the Sahara was drying up. And they actually go out into the Sahara Desert, find the ship, and then deal with a whole bunch of bad guys and stuff like that, trying to get treasure and info from that ship.
ooh.
But that's a tangent into a complete other book.
Don't mind me making
It's
another tangent because right on my front page of Audible was the entire collection of Chronicles of Narnia in one sitting.
Oh gosh. It's not as bad as you would expect because
No, 33, almost 34 hours.
Yeah,
For
because
all
I
7
went back
books?
and reread, quote unquote, the first one, Magician's Nephew, and it's only like 3 hours, I want to say.
I'm very tempted to grab that. But anything else from you, Hun? Or
No, not really. If you're really into fantasy, you don't mind spicy scenes, because yes, the series does have spicy scenes.
and
Well,
if you're okay with LGBT literature,
yes, because it goes between 2 males and also 2 females, and that it's not as descriptive as some stories you might think. It does get a little more as it goes on later throughout the series. There's hardly any towards the beginning, and even what is towards the beginning, it's like brief overlook mention. It's not an actual description
Kind of like a
and
fade to
stuff like
black moment.
Yep, but as the books progress, it does get a little more in depth. Still not all that it's not all that bad, all not all that detailed or graphic, but it does get a little more in depth.
Side note, I do want to just kind of put out there, if you do have a problem with anything pertaining to like LGBTQ, you're in the wrong place.
all of us are non-binary or gender fluid.
Yeah, all
Yep.
of us are queer in some way in this call, so you've gotten lost. Please turn around at your earliest convenience.
Don't bother saying anything negative or hateful in the comments, because we'll just ignore and delete it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We preach acceptance here.
Yes. But yes, if you're okay with that and you're into fantasy series and you want something that's fantasy but at the same time it's unlike any fantasy you've ever heard before, I highly recommend this series. Definitely, like I said, look up the Nas Saga online. It'll take you directly to his website where you can find more information on the
A
books.
little warning for the website. Some of the pictures they have in there are spicy.
It tells you which ones are and has an age verification on
Oh,
there
yeah.
in order to look at them as
But
well.
I'm just saying.
But it's definitely something to check out. As one, being a furry and stuff, I was like, cool. It's one that deals with furry stuff. It was way more than I expected, and I found I really like it, and I'm really looking forward to continuing the series.
I created a monster.
This is
Like I
fine.
wasn't already into stuff like this anyways.
I think they meant with just like reading in general. Considering y'all,
Eventually, I probably would have found it. You were saying, Bella?
I'm just saying, like, it's because specifically y'all were the ones that started the whole get everybody to read thing this year. Like,
Which we
even
somehow got
Nate
Nate
to read.
into, which he never reads.
No, that man has read one book, technically two, I guess, because it's a Jurassic Park and its sequel, a year since, like, ever.
That he always has a
And-
yearly read of that, and that's the only book he ever read. Now this year he's on his 7th book, 8th
Not
book.
the only book he's read, but he is on his 7th book because I
8's not out quite yet.
not yet. To get him back for dragging me into Critical Role, I drug him into Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Which is on the list for me to be reading. I have the first book, but that's a little bit of ways down.
Yeah.
There
and
will eventually
that-
be a entire recording over those, I guarantee you.
Oh yeah. Join
But-
the cult.
But now on to Bella book.
Woo! Mine is similar-ish theme-wise to Kiba's. It's a fantasy, but it's also a romance. My book is For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. Bell is B-E-L-L-E instead of the Ernest
for-
Hemingway.
And for
Title,
those who might
think.
recognize the name, it is based off of a TikTok series that JC was doing, right?
Yeah. She
Still doing
the
hiatus.
idea. Oh yeah, well she's busy. But
Very
she
busy.
started the idea of the series as just like doing skits on TikTok of essentially customer service in hell, where people work a desk in hell, but instead of having to deal with all the ornery assholes, they get to pretty much mouth off to them, say whatever they want, beat the shit out of like
You know
the
what all retail
particularly
workers
bad
wish we
ones.
could do?
Exactly,
It's
like that
it's
was I
essentially
wanted.
it's essentially described as customer service, but in reverse.
Yeah, like if you've ever been in customer service and you've thought about how great it would be to just have a purge like thing for customer service where you could say whatever the fuck you wanted, it's essentially that. So obviously, spoilers, she dies because this whole thing is set in the afterlife in like between paradise, various paradises, and hell. And I would say that was a spoiler, except you get that on the first page, like the first sentence. I knew I was going to die when my car didn't start.
Just a second, Bella. And
Yes.
just a word of advice to anyone who is religious, does not want to hear things about the different afterlives, different pantheons, things like religion. If you have a comment about it, keep it to yourself. We
Mhm.
are of different mixed religions and stuff here. One of us being pagan, another one not
One of us.
religious at all. Well, you don't really count yourself as fully pagan like I do. I don't know what you qualify yourself for.
I feel like technically I'm pagan because I worship multiple deities. We just kind of get lumped in that.
I'm agnostic.
I'm polytheistic.
Yeah. Yeah. And stuff. If you have anything against it, just like for anyone against the LGBT, the door is there. Don't let it hit you in the ass on the way out.
Don't let Mother Nature
We
hit
don't
you,
want to hear anything.
or don't let her hit you, or Mother Nature split you. That's what the phrase is.
We don't want to hear anything about it. If you're interested in a good series and can look at it without finding an affront against your religion, you're welcome to stay and listen.
As far as I'm aware, it's not like it actually is bashing any religion. It's
No,
just
it doesn't.
different.
It bashes more of entitled, like it bashes more entitled people than it does any particular religion. They do a really good job looking up different things. But I just thought of something before we go further into my book. Kiva, your rating so far for the series that you're reading out of 10, what would you give it?
Mm-hmm.
I would give it so far I'd give it an 8 out of 10. There are some things that if you were to walk into one of the books without having started from the very beginning, which is nice with the audiobooks, he does a rewind look at the past book, kind of going over all the major events, and then he'll start into the new book, so you kind of get caught up. But if you don't have the context that's missing from previous books, you will be lost and confused. So it's one you have to start from the very beginning.
I do like when authors summarize essentially the road so far kind of thing, because sometimes
Yes.
we need it.
That is exactly how he determines it and how he puts it as well.
That's actually a thing that was with the Alex Rider books, is each book will have little references back to what's happened prior. It's not like a whole big overlay thing, but as you read through it, you'll hear little thoughts from Alex of, why am I getting into this? And then it'll flash back to some of the other things he's done in previous books. So,
Nice.
Oh yeah, that stuff. Why am I getting to this? Oh yeah, that's why.
oh yeah, I got
Oh, yeah.
recruited out of
My accent.
not even high school, really, because 14 years old. He's still working before
Yeah.
even doing all of GCSs, I think is what they called them. It's like a placement type of test things for jobs.
So before they even, oh, okay. I was about to say, so before they even go to secondary school.
No, he's in secondary school, but there's like a big test thing apparently when you're like 16 years old or something, that's like your job readiness application stuff. I think it was called
Uh,
GCSs. But they were making a mention
I-
in one of the last books, like after you pass those, you can actually come and work for us officially. And the whole
Yes.
background thing is like, I don't want to come back to you guys, yet you keep coming back for 12 books.
Anyways, back to For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yes.
yeah. The book. This is the first book in a trilogy. She actually just announced that she's gonna be able to publish the second one next April. So we're very excited for that. But the first book
Yes, we
follows
are.
Lily. Yeah. The first book follows Lily. It is a dual POV between her and a character, Belle, who is a general in Hell's armies and
Short for
responsible
Belphegor,
for
yes.
Beleth.
Beleth?
Beleth, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
their
he's
terms
in
for the
charge
princes
of-
are different than what most people would know.
Fair, because the
he
7
is-
deadly sin names are different depending on which pantheon you're in. I think.
iteration.
Yeah.
Mhm. But he's a general. He is responsible for 80 legions, and he is, in fact,
I thought
a
it was
Prince
87.
Hell. No, it's 80.
And still, that's a lot.
It's because I had to look up how big a legion was, and it's a lot. But we follow mostly Lily and her getting acclimated into the afterlife. We go through judgment. We follow her adjusting to essentially being in a place where she can decompress from all of the shit she went through in life, as
Trauma.
well as start
a lot of
to grow.
trauma.
Yeah, a lot of trauma.
And just a
Oh.
little
And it's
thing.
your favorite place, the Hobbit Hole.
Yes.
But just a little thing
her
for those that
family-
don't know what a legion is. It's anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 soldiers, and he commands 80 of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, like I
Half of
said.
them being airborne.
Yes, because he does have wings and a tail and horns for those that like all of that.
You know, teratophilia, monster fucking.
Hit me. This is how some people would describe a sticky book, as my brother would say. It does have sex scenes, so trigger warning for that. I won't go into too much details, but there is like mirror
It is
stuff,
definitely
butt
rated
stuff.
18 plus.
It definitely is.
Rated M for
addition-
mature.
Then why are we reading it? We're not mature. But another additional trigger warning I would like to give are mentions, of course, of death, because it is set in the afterlife, so you do deal with dying. Because she starts working in hell as like a help desk person,
H-E-L-L-P.
she does.
Mhm.
Yes, she does deal with like some of the worst of the worst. So you'll have mentions of predators of various types, abusers, stuff like that. There is a whole thing where they go into a character that has a background in the foster care system and had to deal with the worst side of it. So there is mentions of child abuse.
Luckily, I will say, as one who also has read and loves the book as well, it does talk about it. It does not go into detail, so it does save you a bit there if it is a trigger.
It does and it doesn't. It goes into some things, but it does not go into heavy detail. Like
Yes.
you get some descriptions of some of the stuff that Sharky, the character, went through, but you don't get a lot of overly graphic things from their time in the system. Also, on that vein, Sharky is about 8 years old, so another warning for child death.
Hey.
Yeah. But essentially what it is we are following Lily and sometimes even Belle going through lives, getting through, adjusting to being in the afterlife, and being able to come to terms with the fact that, hey, they're okay now, dealing with some of the trauma that they have to kind of go through from living in modern day America and being fucked over by the healthcare system and shit like that. And just like some things dealing with family, just like her parents weren't always the most emotionally available, not because they didn't care, but just because they weren't really raised that way. So it was a they did the best they could with the situation they had thing. I still love them kind of thing.
They had their own
Um,
issues that they had to deal with.
Oh yeah, but they were still good parents. They still obviously cared for her, and she still obviously loves them. But it's just one of those things that, hey, I died and I left everyone. I died relatively young. I left everyone behind that I cared about, so I have to deal with that kind of thing.
And a fair
we-
warning, there is a lot of times mentioned and referred to about with the regrets and the whole thing of kind of putting herself down with, I could have done better with this, I could have done this
Mhm.
different.
Oh, also
So you-
mention trigger warning for violence, because obviously she works in hell and she beats, no pun intended, the hell out of some of the more deserving people that come down there, people that are destined to level 9, the worst of the worst place in hell, where all the true monsters go. But there's also, Belle being a general, there's going to be mentions of like battle stuff and things like that. So if you're squeamish, just heads up. But
Good warnings.
yeah, it's one of those things that I wanted to be as thorough as possible. But because it's a romance, obviously we get to follow Lily and Belle slowly coming together, first as friends and then as more. We get mention of a lot of the background characters and we get to know them some better. If you are fans of the series, we see all of our favorites. Well, most
Ruggy.
of our favorites.
and
We
how
don't-
they
We don't get Ruggy
and
yet.
how they meet.
He's gonna be
Ruggy's
later.
not yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ruggy's not yet. She's a later character.
Okay.
But yeah, we get to meet. We still get to meet Belle. We get to meet Azzy, who is Belle's cousin. We get to meet Lucifer himself. And if you have the special edition, there's a little bonus chapter from his perspective, which is fun.
What's nice is this first book gives you a more in-depth description on how Belle and Lily met.
Yeah,
Hence the whole fun name of Fruit Bat. When you get to
Fruit
it,
Bat.
if you read the book, you'll absolutely love it.
Sky puppies.
it's adorable. All the nicknames and stuff. And
You learn
it
why he's
does-
also called Fruit Bat.
Yeah. It does go into very briefly, just like different things with wing etiquette, tail etiquette, things like that, for those random people like me that are interested in stuff like that.
Don't pull on tails unless you're given permission.
And don't touch wings unless
It
you
is-
get permission to.
It is very yes or no. You need permission to touch or not.
Yeah, which is, a thing in general. No touchy.
Permission is sexy.
Permission is required, and yes, also sexy.
Consent is sexy.
Yeah. But we meet Belle's family, more than just Azzy. We meet a lot of his family, his mom, his siblings. His mother is Lilith, which is awesome. And we get to meet a little bit more and learn some more about his backstory that we didn't get a lot of until later in the series for TikTok, but she's able to go more in depth with stuff like that.
It's easier when you're making a
um,
book versus web shorts, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
Forewarn, again, like we said, a lot of these, the names are different, or how the character is described, or the backgrounds of a lot of the characters, like, say, his mother Lilith, is different than what you might have heard from other stories, from reading a lot of the historical stuff.
Yeah.
Lilith was, depending on what religion you're looking at, Lilith was always known as the mother of demons or mother of all monsters. In here,
And she's
she is
technically the mother
not.
of demons.
Yes.
Technically. She has like what,
But-
6, 7 kids?
She has 7 kids, each one with a different husband. But
Yeah,
she
polyamorous.
herself in the book reveals that no, she knows about that whole myth that she is the mother of all demons or mother of all monsters, and she herself goes, I don't know where the humans got that. It is absolutely not true.
Yeah, I think she makes a joke about it at the time. Like, if I did all
She
that,
does.
then I wouldn't have time to do anything else. Like,
Mhm.
Lilith
Yeah.
is honestly a delight. But yeah, as Kiva mentioned, she
Cold
has
trial with the baby.
kids. Oh God. As Kiva mentioned, she does have her kids by different partners because she's polyamorous. Because I mean, it makes sense. in a way, because if you're immortal and you essentially aren't going to die unless someone kills you, then yeah, I could see you wanting to be polyamorous as well. So this is fine.
Look, sometimes we have to see
There-
different faces throughout our life.
I mean, yeah.
Speaking as one who isn't polyamorous, it's nice.
What? You want to wake up to Strix's face every morning? As if you don't already. But
Sometimes.
More often, he wakes up seeing me. I don't wake up seeing him.
it's
Yeah,
'cause
'cause
you
I'm already
sleep
gone
like
for
a
work.
bed. You sleep like
Nope,
a bed.
I'm gone to work and stuff by 6:30 in the morning.
Disgusting.
That's the post office for you.
Yep.
But overall, I think I would give this book the same, about an 8. For it being her first book, it is very well done. She did a good job, like with her editor and things like that, making sure that it flowed the way that she wanted to, and pretty much said all of the stuff that she wanted it to say. I think she still had to trim like 20,000 words off of it or something.
Writing
I'm
a
not
book
entirely
is
sure.
fucking
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, it is. There are definitely some things that are kind of tropey. I personally don't mind. There can be an argument made that it is kind of a Mary Sue-ish thing, but again, I don't personally mind. But overall,
A lot of those arguments can be made depending on your taste, really.
it can be made depending on your taste, but also you can say the same thing about a lot of main characters in stories, especially fantasy stories.
Which it's funny because in this book she does make fun of that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I got them.
But and I very, very much obviously love this book, because as I was thinking about it before we started doing the recording for this, I have 4 different copies. 5 technically, if you want to include the original that she put out before she decided, hey, I'm going to publish this, and she just released it like on her Patreon and AO3.
It's almost like your Stardew Valley obsession.
Almost.
Do you have the new one with the painted edges?
I do. Yes, I got the special edition one.
Mhm.
That was the only reason why I got the hardback, because I had the paperback and I was like, this is fine. I have it in audiobook, I have it in ebook, I have the
I have everything.
yeah,
I have ebook, I have
have-
audio. You got me the paperback version.
yeah, I need to ship that.
I don't remember. Did you say it was one of the ones that was signed or no?
It wasn't. We couldn't get one of the signed ones,
Oh,
unfortunately. Our Barnes and Noble didn't have it. Yeah,
it happens.
but oh yeah.
I mean, I've got one of the signed ones for Eldest, so.
Lucky.
Oh, you bitch. I can't say much of anything. We're going to meet Matt Denneman next month, and we get a signed copy of the 8th book.
Dungeon Crawler Carl, everybody.
Yeah.
So, what series are you guys looking at reading next?
I am currently in another one that is an ongoing. There is the 4th book just came out as well around the same time as the other one of the series that I mentioned. It is more of a heavy smut side, but it involves magic, different races, all going to basically a college for the supernatural.
Nice.
But besides the smut and the LGBT, because it is all gay and stuff, all the characters are gay, whether it's first time. I don't know why I'm feeling like this for another man, but oh my god, I'm in love.
Aw.
A lot of it follows along with the whole destiny mate thing. You find your mate and that, but it is called the Widdershins series. The first book of it is called Hexmate and it's done by Blake R. Wolf.
I think you two talked about that one.
Yes.
I think so.
And stuff. He has 4 more books coming out for that one as well. Since, like I just said, the 4th one just recently came out. We're probably not going to see anything till about maybe September of this year, or
Audiobook.
about March of next year. No, book completely, not just audio. But most of it resounds around the supernatural, witches, beast folk, vampires, werewolves, fae, druids, all that. They all can attend a college called Widdershins, hidden up in the Appalachian Mountains. But they also deal with a trope in this series is witches look down on all other magical creatures, even if the others were born magical, have far more power than them. The witches see themselves as superior. Hence, there is an issue throughout the series of racial issues, all being witches versus the other. But in each one, a witch is the main character who falls in love with one of the other species.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
All these suspicions.
The first book involves a witch and a werewolf. The second one, a witch and a fae. Third one, a witch and a boar beast folk. And the third one. The fourth one is a dark elf and a witch, which in turn, all of these books also reference quite often different realms. So you have all the creatures that also live in their own realm come to our human realm in order to attend the school.
All right. Not one that I would read because
Heavy on smut.
I was about to say, because horny.
I don't
Yes,
have a
it's a heavy
problem with
horny.
that, but it's not something I'm going to just listen to.
No, that's fair.
The books are really nice. I love them and stuff. Besides the smut part, like I said before with the other one, I'm heavy into magic. This one gives a lot of in-depth into the different spell works, working with the Fae and their chaos magic, the Dark Elves and their Twilight magic, the Druids and their nature magic. It just gives a huge reference and in-depth for a lot of it that you kind of learn throughout looking up yourself or hearing the history and beliefs of a lot of the old ones from around the world. The only thing I kind of wish that the audiobooks, he was able to find someone to actually read it. They are AI read. So you kind of don't really get a whole lot of actual emotion, unfortunately, with being AI, but the books themselves are really good. So far, the third one is the shortest out of the 4 that he has out right now.
I'm not gonna lie, that may have just talked me out of getting them in audiobook form. I might still get them in physical form, but
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I mean, I have them easy enough just because needing it with the driving most of the time is the easiest way. But I do have them for my Kindle as well.
Yeah, that's the one thing. When I'm going to look for books, if I see one that's AI, it's like, I'm good.
yeah, no thank you.
The thing is, I've heard some really bad AI ones. The only issue I have with this one is it's kind of all, not say monotone. There is some emotional spikes you can hear.
The
Like
AI
it's
can only
done
do
with
so much.
one of the more, yeah. It's just lacking a little bit more. It would have been better if you would have been able to afford or had someone actually read it.
And that's the other thing. Getting people to read your books for you is expensive.
Well, and you also got to deal with what they believe, what they're willing to read, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, like back to the For Whom the Bell Tolls, if you like hearing stuff, they do have, like Bella said, it is done by two different people depending on which person's view you're looking from.
Mhm.
And if you love the deeper sounding voices and stuff from men, especially when it comes to just listening audio wise, definitely get the audiobook.
Oh yeah.
It teases big time.
Oh dear.
Well,
Bella's
I
right
mean,
there with
I'm not saying anything.
okay, Elena Wolf, who does Lily's point of view, she does an amazing job. She's very emotional in all of parts that need it, and I absolutely fucking cried at a couple of the parts that she was reading.
yes.
Belle's voice actor, Sean Masters, girl.
So even at his and stuff when it towards the end where it described the big funeral and it was all done by his. I've never been hit. I told Bella I've never been hit so emotionally like I was with that in a long time since I was a child.
Yeah,
I mean,
there
I
will be
almost,
two.
I almost had to, yeah, I almost had to pull over a moment
Oh
because
no.
of how the tears started hitting.
Oh honey.
Hmm.
That hit hard.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that.
But it's all really well done and put together.
Oh yeah. Tricks,
Almost
what
makes me
is-
wish I would have looked into actually doing the voiceover like that.
Voiceover's fun. You're asking what I'm looking at for next series?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, besides the Inheritance Cycle and Murtag, because we've already covered that's going to be coming up, I have two other series. Well, I guess technically three, but that I'm going to be looking at buying and reading. I have the first book for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Part of me is kind of reluctant on that, and I have a very bad habit of if something gets overly talked about around me, it makes me not want to watch or do anything with it. And I love you
Which is
guys.
why I've tried not to. I've tried not to.
I know. So that one's a little bit on the back burner, but there are two others, and a couple of my coworkers also do audiobooks while they're driving, and I've been talking with them about some stuff. So the two that I'm looking at from them, one series is called The Dresden Files. And from what I have been
Ooh.
explained for that is magic in modern day New York.
The Dresden Files is a very good book. Like I said, my dad has listened to so many different audiobooks. I've heard all different genres, and a lot of them that we have, several of them we talked about, like the Alex Rider, that one, and a couple of others I have listened to over the years thanks to my dad.
Yeah, The Dresden
I've
Files
heard
is one of
About
those.
the Dresden Files, yeah.
One of my coworkers talks highly about it. It's one of the few series he's actually reread because he's not one to really reread books.
Ooh.
The other one is called System Apocalypse, and this one's more on the sci-fi, but it has a little bit of fantasy stuff to it. Basically, the Earth gets assimilated into a big alien, not really a video game, but it's a type of combat system that works a lot like a video game, and the Earth gets turned into a dangerous planet, and a large amount of all human life is destroyed when normal innocent creatures become giant ravenous monsters right in front of them. And the series goes
Sounds like
through the series goes through a small group of humans that are fighting to survive, and I think it's like surviving a year and trying to build up resources and things to become accepted by the alien group. I don't remember the name for them because I'd only heard a little bit of it while I was riding along with a coworker. But what I had heard sounded really interesting, so I'm looking forward to that. So it's an RPG where Earth becomes infested, basically.
Sounds like a lot of chaos.
I'm looking forward to it because apparently the main character wakes up in what is known as an S-class danger area.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm in danger. I'm in danger.
So it sounds like some of the YouTube ones I've listened to where the aliens have
Your
incorporated
AI
Earth
story ones.
Yeah, where aliens incorporated Earth into the Galactic Federations, but so many of them don't believe There's several that they don't believe humans exist because Earth's categorized as a Class 14 death world. Everything there is trying to kill you.
I mean,
And they say nothing can survive there. And then the humans in the story are just like, I was born and raised there for 22 years.
It reminds me of a Tumblr post that took essentially the same idea, where they're just like listing all of the stupid shit that the planet has that would absolutely decimate aliens. Like, just the fact that we drink alcohol for fun, even though it's poisonous, or, you know, hippos.
Drink that we have to survive on water, but most other alien species, water is a poison.
Yeah.
Or the
Depending
fact
on,
that
like,
apparently we tame the most dangerous animals ever and keep them in our houses, things that would kill people in an instant. And
I mean,
Or how of those stories that I've listened to, I love the fact of everyone in these class brought in the world's deadliest animal. You had things that were made out of crystalline structures, things that could rip apart huge destroyer class battleships. The human brought in a cat.
Yeah.
They're looking at him, and then he pulls up all statistics, which are actually true statistics and stuff about cats.
they are a perfect predator.
Essentially, well, the fact that in several parts of the world they have destroyed over 92% of the local small fauna in the area. And the aliens are like, and you live with this thing? Oh yeah. And you're not in danger? Only when it gets hungry.
Accurate.
If we don't give them food when they want, we get hit.
What do you mean you did? Well, you see, they have claws. What? They come with weapons?
but for System Apocalypse, I actually was told that there is a set of it on Audible where you have 3 books in one grouping, not just having to buy individual, because there's 12 books total for it. So I only have to spend 4 credits to get the entire series instead of spending 12. So I'm gonna be looking into that. So that's 3 books at a time.
Huzzah! We like it when there are less credits.
Yeah, less money to be spent.
That thing. Books are fucking expensive.
So besides the inheritance cycle again for you, what else are you looking at?
I'm looking at 2 series. I also have a standalone book that I want to read because I have another one of Matt Denneman's Operation Bounce House, which is similar in theme from what I've been told to his Dungeon Crawler Carl series, but I'm also looking at Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells, which is
Murderbot Diaries?
again, yeah, it's similar vein. Hold on, I can bring up like the description. Following a self-aware sarcastic security android that calls itself Murderbot and just wants to be left alone to watch media, but it keeps getting pulled into adventures. So it just sounds like it just sounds like a fun little thing, which means I'm probably going to get emotionally destroyed just because that's how the fuck this shit works.
Usually.
It's between that one and the Villains Code series. First one being Forging Hephaestus, which one of my friends that I met online, separate from y'all, has been heavily wanting me to read. He's the one that got me to read the Into the Darkness trilogy last week.
Which is also a very
that was.
in a SFW
That one-
series.
That one's very horny and it's kind of darker. So if you don't do darker themed romances, skip it.
50 Shades
Like,
of Grey, but
there's-
worse.
Better written.
Better written, but
but-
worse content-wise.
Just to give you a general heads up, the first and only trigger warning, it does list trigger warnings, that I can remember off the top of my head is mentions of cannibalism.
Woo! Cannibalism!
Mentions of cannibalism. One of the main characters' dad was a serial killer.
And ate the
Shenanigans
bodies.
ensue. Not only that, but he fed him to other people at a barbecue.
Yay, Sweeney
That's not
Todd.
the only spoiler you're... Pretty much. That's the only spoiler you'll get out of me for that series.
That's probably not one that we will
Sweeney
talk about.
Todd and NCIS.
NCIS didn't have that much
Or
for
not NCIS,
cannibalism.
but Criminal Minds.
There you go.
Criminal Minds had one entire episode about it.
Yeah.
Spencer Reed. That is a very pretty man.
There are some books
But
that even if we enjoy them, we're not going to talk about because of how bad they might be. And that series, Rebella, is one of them.
I'll talk briefly about it. Like, it's a dark romance, but there's a lot of trigger warnings that some people might not like. But if you are a fan of very questionable, if you
Probably.
like morally gray characters,
Morally
You'll probably
gray,
be-
almost to the point of black.
you know, stalking, kidnapping, murder, it's fine. But yeah, I'm leaning towards either Murderbot Diaries or Villain's Code.
I think I've heard of Villain's Code before.
I want to say there's a couple of different series that have similar names like that, but this one is I don't even remember what the hell it was about. I'm gonna have to look it up, but she forced to join a secret guild of villains after being caught trying to rob them. So okay, shenanigans ensue.
So kind of the original tale with Aladdin, really.
Kinda, except she's stuck as a villain instead of. Well, I don't know. I haven't heard the original tale of Aladdin in so long.
The real original tale of Aladdin is he tried robbing the 40 thieves. And in turn ended up becoming the leader.
Whoops. Damn. That's gotta suck.
It's not,
You just wanted a
it's
quick
not
score,
the
and now you have
Disney's
fucking
version.
response. You just wanted a quick score, now you have all these fucking responsibilities. That's bullshit.
Yep.
But a side note about forging Hephaestus and the Villain's Code. It's by Drew Hayes, the same author that does Fred the Vampire Accountant series, which is also on my list. But there's like 8 or 9 books of that one, so that's gonna be later.
I've got a lot on my wish list on Audible that I'm just like, these will come eventually. Some of them are for recording stuff, so
Yeah, my TBR is getting longer, which is fine.
I'd rather have a to-do list for books than for video games at this point.
Especially with some of these books that we're reading, we can't really play video games with because shit fucking happens and we miss it.
Yeah.
Another series for me that I'm looking to get back into, I've listened to the first 5 books, but it was a while ago before Strix and I even met, is if anyone knows of the Meg series, the movies that came out, this is the actual series those movies are
Oh.
based off of.
That reminds me of a group of books that I actually want to try and find. Is I want to try find the actual James Bond books that Ian Fleming wrote and read those.
Ooh, I did think about that.
Since you basically had to do your homework and watch all the James Bond movies.
We had fun, mostly.
Varying levels of success.
Hey, we went through all of them. They're all here on the channel.
No, Yeah. Like, it wasn't
But
bad.
yes, I want to get those books again because I was listening to them on my brother's Audible account when I used to have access to it.
Hmm.
And
You're
then
big on a
several
lot of the
others,
horror
like
stuff.
horror, a lot of the fantasy.
I mix fantasy and
And-
sci-fi for mine. I'm kind of a in between for the fiction genres.
A lot
Yeah.
of mine is also like the historical fiction, like I said with the Clive Cussler.
Hmm.
Some of the Bond books are on Audible.
Ooh.
I told him to look at it before, he just never did.
Look, I need money for that.
There's a wish list there for a reason.
We can't share wish list with people. You have to give credits.
This is fine. We'll just give you money.
You know how he is with that, he'll take offense to it, even if it is giving him the books.
I don't know. I think with books he'll be a little bit more accepting. I've worn him down a lot with that too.
I still argue about it, but I accept it.
See, progress. We're proud of you, buddy.
Rude.
Now, if only it would work when it comes to me and things I'm trying to look for him.
I do not have the
Oh, no.
drive for
You're-
that, and you know that.
You're their
I'm not
significant other.
talking
You're gonna
about
get all of the
I'm,
staff.
I'm talking
Nope.
about when it comes to, hey, what would you like for your birthday?
Nope.
What would you like for Christmas? What would you like for anniversary?
I never give anything because I prefer to give.
And you know, I'm a giver as well. And it drives me nuts.
You really want to get under their skin? Feed them and tell them they're pretty. Like, I'm not even kidding.
He just
Buy
denies
them-
the pretty part.
Buy them food.
That's Bella, like I said, he just denies the pretty part. He'll gladly take my food. He just denies the pretty part.
I
Because
know.
I'm not.
That's why I'll get under their skin.
We're getting off track.
The point is, Trix is very pretty.
That's not what the point of this is. But thank you, everybody, for listening to us talk about books. We're going back to what we started this for. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you guys have any suggestions of things that you think we might like to read, feel free to put them down in the comments. Been trying to expand more on the library. It costs a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
You
but
have,
it's okay.
you have the musical expansion, or you just need the reading expansion.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll always take more music too.
Oh, my music expansion is very wide. But
But it could be wider.
if it goes any wider, it's not going to fit through a door.
Kinky.
Any
Anywho.
closing thoughts for this from you guys?
My only closing thought is pretty much the same thing I try to do every time. If you are fans of really chill streaming and just want to hang out in cozy vibes, check out both Trix and Kiba on Twitch. Their schedules are not necessarily set in stone, but it's fine.
It's hard to have a set
Mine's
schedule when you work
really
a
not with
full-time job.
Postal Service.
The postal service doesn't give you a
When
set
you-
schedule whatsoever.
Which is so fucking weird, but okay. Wait, no,
It's
no,
because
it's
I'm
not.
a
It's
sub.
government one.
Say it's because I'm a sub. I'm put where I need. So my schedule changes daily.
I mean, we knew you were a sub, but
I wasn't going to say it. It went quiet.
I'm not denying anything though.
we wouldn't let you if you tried.
Nope. I appreciate all you guys for sticking through with us here. We will be
Mm.
doing this more often. I think once a month, probably, after we've had some more books and things.
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to be anywhere near as frequent as when we were doing the James Bond movie watches. It kind of wore us
But
out.
we will. Yeah, we will eventually get back into the movie watches. We just
Movies,
have to
TV
figure out where we want to
shows.
go next.
We are going to have some more of the book versus movie comparisons.
Hmm.
But I hope to see you guys with whatever I'm going to be doing in the future. I need to get back into recording more gameplay and stuff, but fucking tired half the time after work.
I was about to
And
say.
your computer took a crap.
I can
Yeah.
I can at least record off of the Switch still, but yeah.
Yeah. But a final closing. You love to read, don't always have the time for a book.
Audible,
Audible is your choice.
sponsor us.
I was about to say, we need sponsoring. Get on that Audible, sponsor us.
I would love
30
that.
credits appear in each of our accounts just to sponsor.
Listen.
Look, I'd be okay with an Audible sponsorship at this point. I never thought about it when I first started. It's like, I don't do a lot of reading. I don't need to worry about that. And I was like, you know what? Yes.
I mean, well, there's the thing too, though. If we really want to look into it, we could also earn money and stuff as well through Audible.
You can get a
Side
commission
hustle.
fees because you put in like a streamer code and you get a small portion of what people buy with your code.
Nice.
Basically for advertising.
But that is nowhere near in the future, most likely. 'Cause I'm still very small. If somehow
You
they
don't
manage
ha-
to find
it
this,
doesn't-
then
This is something you can do even if you're not a streamer, though. Really, it's a side hustle thing. Just as long as you promote books, put like descriptions on books and stuff like that. So it's like you would listen to them, add a small description, you can get paid for
yeah. But if they actually did ever find this and be like, hey, these people might be worth it, then all right.
it.
Yes, please.
I mean,
We would like
especially
to read more.
considering in only 3.5 months at 13 books read. Ugh.
Yeah, you're right. We're
it's-
falling behind.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a whole lot easier doing audiobooks than it is sitting down and reading. Because
It
I can
is.
actually, I don't have to focus directly on the book. I have it enough because ADHD, I can have two things going at once. So I have that as background unless I'm really wanting to focus on it. And I can do like cleaning or art stuff while I'm listening to the books and just chill.
Whereas you have me, I sit there listening to the books while I do my mail route.
You know, having 10 hours a day practically to just sit there and listen to books.
I have to be careful sometimes about if anyone's out near the mailboxes or who I deliver.
Well, just stop
to
reading your
about
smut
what's
books in the
going
car.
on.
That's what
Hey,
headphones are
no,
for.
that's why there's a pause button. There's why there's volume control. Or, as Bella said, that's why there's also Bluetooth.
Yep.
Mm. But I appreciate all of you guys. Hit that like button, and if you aren't subscribed, I would appreciate that as well. Trying to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. It's going decent. I just need to get it into recording more.
I believe in you.
Eventually, we can start doing game reviews too.
I'm not going to worry about game reviews because I never go for the brand new thing, so it's not going to be worth it.
Don't have to be brand new. There's a lot of people looking into the nostalgia stuff.
That's why I record.
Doesn't help when you're right next to a recording center.
We die. What?
No, it's because I just walked into the office.
Don't need
Uh,
well, don't need duplicates going on to the recording.
Code.
Now I lost my train of thought. Thanks.
Choo choo.
Yeah, whatever. Appreciate you guys. Fucking scuff. Bye,
Thanks
everybody.
for listening to the very chaotic ramble.
Yeah.